it's Erin, and I'm here with another process video. And this one I'm using a piece of paper from Amy Tan's Rise and Shine as my background. And then the collection from Pretty Little Studio, it's called You and Me. And right when I saw these photos, or these papers, I knew that I wanted to use them with these photos of Mike and myself on our anniversary trip to Disneyland. It didn't technically happen on our anniversary because Mike couldn't get off work because, just too much overtime and all that. But so it actually ended up being on my parents' anniversary, which is kind of crazy. But so instead of February 10th, it was April 1st. And I'm just trimming down the photos here. When Mike and I take pictures of each other, we tend to line them up differently, apparently. And for some reason, I had untucked my shirt, and it made me look really fat. So I was trying to cut off as much of my lower half as I could, and while still maintaining Mike's photo and the picture of the castle. So I'm going to kind of waffle for a bit. I didn't have any plan for how I wanted these photos at all. I didn't have any plan as to how I wanted to use the papers, anything. I just kind of took them out, started the camera, and said, hey, let's go. And that's probably why this layout took me 30 minutes instead of my normal 20, because literally no thought went into this beforehand or anything. I just said, these are the papers I want to use. This is a background that goes with it, so let's go with it. I really like Amy Tan's Rise and Shine collection. I pretty much like everything that she does in her spring collections. So I was surprised at how well these papers worked with the Pretty Little Studio papers. The reason that I cut this photo down was because I also included it in my project life. It's smaller there, but it's not that big of a deal, and I have so many photos of the castle. It's also not that big of a deal to see the top of the castle when what's actually important about these photos is us and the little blue banner with the D on it, which is signifying that it's the start of the 60th anniversary of Disneyland. So again, a lot of futzing around and a lot of me trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. And I think, yes, okay, now I figured it out. I want to create what I didn't want to do is create this weird floating photo thing. So I had to give some sort of anchor. And by flipping the photos over, I could connect those two larger photos to the top by flipping the paper over. Yeah. Okay, so, but then I needed an anchor for the bottom photo. So that's what I'm creating here. And I'm lining up the white so that the split there is seamless. So you can't really tell that it's not a 12 by 12 across. And then it turned out that the back of the photo or the back of the paper had this nice pattern on the back of it, or the branding strip. Wow, I cannot talk today. Oh my God, why did I decide to do this? The branding strip, it had this nice pattern, and instead of using washi like I was going to, I figured, well, recycle and just use that piece of paper. So I used the heart one because it's obviously the three of us together. Sirius gets to go to Disneyland with us too, because he's a federally certified service dog. So he's official and all that. I'm trying to incorporate more Project Life cards into my stuff, so I'm looking for something to use here and thinking maybe I want to go with this with a teal, or maybe I want to go with this like peach kind of color that is in the watercolor. And I kind of wish that it had been a teal card, but it wasn't, and I couldn't find another way that I was going to use this weird peach teal color or this weird peach color anywhere else. And since it matches on the layout, I figured I would just go with it now. I'm going to get out some of the new doilies that I bought from Doodlebug, and I'm going to go with the littler version here, and it's going to fit right into that circle there. And then I'm going to rip the doily because it's 2 layers instead of 1. And these doilies have these weird edges on them that are like squares. Um, there, see, I wrote the doily there. So I am like just snipping off that square there. So I get the camera on there, and I had this piece, a half cut of doily that I had from the last time, and I just kind of put it back in the package. And again, with using these cards, they really do not like the ATG. I don't know what kind of paper they're made out of, but it's super smooth, and the ATG just does not stick to it. It drives me crazy because I try every single time, and even the double stick tape does not want to stick to it. I don't know what they expect us to do with them. Well, actually, they expect you to put them in pockets to where they don't have to be glued on. But like, if you ever try and glue anything else on them, it's not going to work. Um, okay, and now I'm just deciding on a little bit of embellishment. So I'm going to highlight that arrow on the card with another arrow from here. I'm going to point at us, and then I'm going to point at the individual photos there, and then just kind of point at the castle. And I thought, since the last layout I used, it's kind of the companion piece to this layout, so I used clouds on the last one, so I thought, well, let's try and get some feathers in on this one. And I really like the quality of these die cuts, so I wanted to make sure I used them right away. And you see also where that break was in the teal banner at the bottom, or teal strip at the bottom. I'm actually building on top of it, so your eye is drawn away from that break if you tend to notice it. It's not something I would look at or be bothered by, but building on top of it is a way to cover it up, so that helps. And so I was just moving around the feathers and trying to get them into like embellishment clusters. And I'm actually going to remember to take out my little Queen and Company Mickey shaped gems and just some enamel dots as well, because I know that I have this weird peachy color, but I also have, different kinds of pink. So I was just auditioning which ones I want to use, and yeah, it's that weird peachy color. And then I'm going to take out some enamel hearts that I have and use those too. So I hope you enjoyed this layout. Thank you very much for watching, and that's it. Bye-bye.